All right, so we'll start out seated on a supportive cushion or on a block. I actually fold my blanket up so that it's about this thick. And the reason for this is so that we get proper tilt on the pelvis. So from a side view, without a support, it becomes very difficult to sit forward on my pelvis when I don't have support. So you can see I just sit on the back. There's a tendency to sit on the back of my pelvis. What I want to do is be able to come forward to get that proper rotation in my pelvis so that the rest of my body can naturally sit tall. And I and many other people do not have the hips that will quite allow for that amount of rotation on the pelvis. So what I do is I use support here, and then I'm able to come forward onto my pelvis without stressing out my hips and my knees. And once I do that, the rest of my upper spine comes into alignment. And so this plays a huge role in the posture and in the muscles that are keeping everything up aligned. Because once this falls out of a line like this, you see my whole spine, my whole neck, my shoulders come forward like this, just from that tilt of my pelvis. So one thing we can do to improve overall posture and make shoulder posture easier is keeping a proper tilt on the pelvis. It helps keep the rest of our spine tall and supported. You should be able to feel that difference as well.
Yep, I can.
Sitting on and so the way that we'll sit to begin, coming forward onto our sit bones, which are the bones here on the front of our pelvis. Coming forward on the sit bones, pulling the left heel in. Dropping that left knee down to the ground. This will really encourage bringing that forward tilt. And then our other leg, our goal is to sort of just rest it in front and then come forward enough with our body to where that right knee then falls to the ground as well. Nice, perfect. So once we can feel some support here, we should feel pretty grounded. Should feel like the whole base of our legs are grounded and stable into the ground, and then supporting our pelvis to hold the rest of our spine. If we can sit like this, it should relieve any of that low back pressure that makes sitting for long amounts of time difficult. So once we've done that, we'll pull the belly in a little bit and up, sort of to tighten the core a little bit and help lift through here. So I like to breathe in and just pull this in just a little bit. You'll feel that lift in the mid back, and then continuing to breathe in, we can sort of lift the shoulders and then slowly roll the shoulders back after lifting them. From here, we can turn the palms up. I think the biggest aspect of shoulder health is keeping our rotator cuffs healthy, and allowing the front body to stay open so that the back body doesn't get stretched and get tight. What happens is as our shoulders tend to come forward, the muscles supporting the back tend to stretch out and then get stiff. So we want to give them space and room to work as they need instead of binding them into a tension. position. So shoulders go back, and then once they go back, squeeze them down. And one aspect of this is the rotation that happens with our arms. So one thing we'll notice, you can experiment with turning your palms up versus down. When the palms are down, the shoulder joint naturally curls inward. This is internal rotation. When the palms are up, the shoulder, the arm joint naturally creates a rotation that is outward. This is external rotation. So by lifting the palms up, we create external rotation in the shoulders, which allows them to more naturally fall into their back and down position, opposed to their forward and slouched position. So simply sitting with the palms turned open like this, the lower back in alignment, can provide a lot of relief. Because as we open the shoulders back, we create space and ability to move in that joint. So now we'll just sort of inhale, close the eyes. Imagine your head is being pulled up tall. You lift your chin slightly. Breathe in to fill your lungs up with air completely. And at the peak of your inhalation, hold that breath for 2 counts. And as you relax, soften every muscle in your body and let all the air fall out of your mouth. Allow your exhale to be complete, exhaling any air that is inside of your lungs. And then breathe in again, taking a full breath, filling the lungs up completely in through the nose. And at the peak of that inhalation, hold your breath for 2 counts. Exhale out of the mouth, completely letting all of the air out. And using your exhalation breath as a way of softening the body. One more inhale through the nose completely. As you do, imagine your breath moving in and down into your belly. Breathe in. See if you can squeeze in a little more air. And hold for 2 counts. Exhale out of the mouth, relax. Relax your face, relax your hands, relax the elbows, relax the hips. One final breath. This one will hold for a little bit longer at the top of our inhale. So breathe in slowly through your nose. This time really emphasizing breathing deep into your belly. At the peak of your inhalation, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, relax completely. Allow your breath to fully empty your lungs. Use that exhalation to relax even deeper those joints and muscles we feel. When you feel your inhalation come back, just bring the breath to a steady, neutral breath, but maintain awareness of the breath and maintain focus on the breath coming into the abdomen, opposed to just coming into the chest. Take 3 breaths and try to breathe into the throat, then down into the belly. And as you exhale, try to release out of the nose this time. And as you exhale out of the nose, soften the muscles in your face, the muscles behind your ears, muscles in our hips and our sides. Slowly bring your attention of your mind into your body. Bring your attention to your hips and your knees. Observe these joints without labeling how they feel, without interpreting what you're feeling, but simply letting our attention reside here to see how much of a detailed view and feeling we can get in this area of our body by moving our attention here. So maybe you feel something on the front hip, and then on the back hip, it feels similar, but it's a different shape of feeling. Just become aware. As you breathe in, move your attention up into your ribs, to your low back. You breathe here, using your breath to relax into your body while maintaining focused attention in that area of your body. What can we observe? By bringing your attention to your body, you can better receive what your body is communicating through the feelings that we have. Inhale, bring your attention into your chest and into your back. Each time you exhale, soften the muscles in that area and allow your attention to focus in on every little corner and nook of that part of your body. One more breath. And on our next inhale, move your attention to your shoulders and your neck muscles. As you relax, try to soften these joints and these muscles and become a little bit more aware and in tune with every little detail, every little millimeter of tension residing in that joint. Maybe it's tension, maybe it's aching, maybe it feels like it's glowing. Take one more breath, keeping your attention focused, checking out both shoulders and both sides of the neck muscles. And as you breathe in, move your attention to your face, to your ears and the back of your head. Observant of how these muscles feel. Often these muscles on our face and around our head are the most influenced by our unconscious thoughts and emotions. So take your exhalation as a tool to relax and ease any tension off of those muscles. And on your next inhalation, move your attention in between your eyebrows. To assist with this, you can just really take your eyes and imagine you're trying to look right here with your eyes closed. We're going to spend 3 breaths with our concentration here now that we can feel and see how we can move the attention in the body and move our awareness throughout our body. We're going to move it and maintain it in between the eyebrows here. So inhale, bring your attention there. Feel lifted tall, feels like someone's pulling a thread from your spine through your head up to the ceiling. Maintain that focus and attention here. And as you exhale, maintain the focus here, but soften the body and relax some of the mind. Inhale through your nose, deep into your belly, emphasizing that attention coming in between the eyebrows. And as you exhale, feel that your attention here allows all other thoughts to start to slowly fade out. Inhale through your nose. Maintaining attention, and exhale. Keep that attention and allow everything else in the background to slowly dissolve. Inhale through the nose and into the belly. Maintaining powerful attention between your eyebrows. Hold your inhalation for 5, 4, 3, 2, and exhale out of the nose, keeping your focus and easing the rest of the mind. Find a moment of stillness and slowness by keeping concentration here. We become better able to manage the rest of the mind underneath that, as we can see it from a distance. Inhale through your nose, fill up the lungs. All the way, fill your lungs up completely. And as you exhale, exhale out of the mouth. Relax. Bring your attention back into your body, to your senses, and into your environment. Slowly open the eyes. And on your next exhalation, take your left ear and let it fall to your left shoulder. Take one breath here. Allow gravity to make the stretch happen. Don't force it. Tilt your chin slightly upward. And as you breathe in, come back to center. Then as you exhale, bring your right ear to your right shoulder, opening up the left side. Lift your chin slightly and allow gravity to naturally open up your spine here. Inhale back to center. Feel tall in the spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, relax, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale back to neutral. And right ear to right shoulder. Good, inhale back to neutral. This time, as we exhale, bring your chin down to your chest. Again, relax, allow your chin to sway, allow your head to sway if you feel that. Staying with the breath and keeping focus on this part of our body. Inhale back to neutral, lifting the chin up. As you exhale, allow the back of the head to drop back, allow the chin to come up, opening the throat and the front body. And on your next inhalation, come back to neutral. Again, exhale, drop your chin down to your chest. Allow gravity to pull your head down. Lengthen those muscles. And inhale, back up to neutral. Exhale, tilt the head back to open the throat. Inhale, come back to forward. Come back to neutral. Awesome. We're going to take our legs and straighten them out in front of us, slowly. Staying seated on whatever we're seated on to maintain good tilt and support in our lower back. We're straightening out the legs in front. This is called staff pose. So with our legs out in front, try to soften the knees, bringing the knees down into the mat. And inhale, lift the shoulders up. And exhale, squeeze them back and down. Once again, lift the shoulders up, breathe in. And exhale, shoulders come back and down. In our staff pose, pull in your left leg. Hug that knee in using your left arm. Awesome. And what we're going to do is open up the right side of our body and open up some twisting in the lower back by having this as our support. So here with our left leg in, we're going to inhale, reach our arm up. With the palm facing forward. Inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, allow that arm to come back behind you as much as you can, drawing a really big arm circle, opening the arm up, bringing the palm facing upward. Just here. And exhale all the way down. And look over that shoulder. Inhale, reach that arm back up to the ceiling. And exhale, bring that hand back down. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, keeping our left knee in. So inhale, Arm up, palm facing forward. This time grabbing the leg with the right hand. Perfect. And as you exhale, draw a big arm circle and reach behind you. Slowly exhale that hand to the ground as you look over your shoulder. And inhale, arm back up to the ceiling. Exhale, back down to your leg. Awesome. We're going to switch legs this time. So pull the right knee in. And going through the same thing, focusing on keeping the shoulder back and down and keeping our palm externally rotated. So with our right leg in, let's go ahead and grab our right leg with our right hand. We'll take our left arm and inhale it up. Here, lift through the spine as well. And draw a big circle as you exhale to bring that palm behind you. Keeping the palm facing upward will allow for external rotation in the shoulder, more space in your back. Look over that shoulder. Inhale, arm back up to the ceiling. And exhale, back down to your leg. Grab your knee with your left hand now. Take that right arm, reach it up. Breathe in. And as we exhale, draw a big circle, opening that arm, keeping the palm facing upward, and allowing the hand to drop down to the floor. Looking over that shoulder to find a gentle twist as well. And inhale that arm back up. And back down to your right leg. Good. Again, let's bring our feet both out in front for staff pose. Now I'm going to invite us to remove the pelvis support. Coming into a staff pose, just seated here. We're going to gently open up the shoulders just a little bit by taking the hands and placing them out to the sides. From here, what I want us to do is turn the palms upward and slowly lay down. And as you lay down, move your hands up towards the top of your mat. Slowly laying down onto the mat, controlled using the core. Allowing the hands to come around all the way till they meet together above the head. From here, take your hands, bring them together, and drop your elbows down to the floor. Breathe in deeply through your nose. And exhale out of the nose. Breathe in deep through the nose once more. And this time, as you exhale, pull the left knee in and grab it with your arms. Squeeze your nose to your knee. When you feel your inhalation, extend that leg and open your arms back up overhead. Drop the elbows to the floor. Breathing in. And as you exhale, take the right leg, right knee, curl it into your chest, grab that leg and pull it to your nose. Inhale, extend back out, leading the elbows into the floor and then dropping the hands. This time, bring both knees into the chest. Grab the knees and pull them to your nose. And exhale or inhale, extend back out. And here, using the core muscles, I invite you to come to a rising sit-up. Awesome. Noticing how the shoulders feel here. We're going to come into Baddha Konasana, bringing the bottoms of the feet together. And again, coming forward onto our pelvis so that our lower back can maintain alignment. Here in Baddha Konasana, we can take a moment to open up this front body by taking the hands back behind us, pointing the fingertips towards the back wall. Here, we'll inhale, fill the belly. And as you exhale, press the chest forward, squeeze the shoulders back and down, opening up the front body in our hips and as well up in our shoulders. Exhale, find opening here, lift your chin slightly. Take 2 breaths, pushing through your fingertips. Relax the muscles in the hips. And allow yourself to expand this front body. And exhale. Slowly come back to Baddha Konasana. Grabbing the feet. Good. Now this time we'll inhale tall. And as we exhale, pull the shoulders back and soften the hips, soften the groin, soften the knees. Take 2 breaths here. Each exhalation, softening the hips, and each inhalation, activating and squeezing the muscles in our mid and upper back. So here in this pose, we can find a stretch in our hips, but by grabbing our feet here, we can actually work the muscles in our back that support our shoulders being in good alignment on a regular basis. So in this posture, really use your muscles like it's a workout. Squeeze your shoulder blades back together and then squeeze them down. You will really feel all of those muscles activate behind you. Very similar to doing a row at the gym. You're pulling weight inward. Same thing here. That sets us up for this. So pull those shoulder blades together and down. And here this is an isometric hold. So just holding that, we can really engage those muscles and strengthen them. So take a moment to just feel that and experiment with that. And it's cool because it's a 2-in-1 because you get the stretch as well. Awesome, and release, relax. Good, we'll swivel around to tabletop. But I do want to mention that with shoulder and upper back posture, one of the best things we can do is strengthen muscles all in this area, in the mid back. So these are the traps, rotator cuff is here, the lats, all of these muscles. And by doing that exercise, we strengthen the traps by pulling our shoulder blades back. And then we strengthen the lats by pulling everything down. So building supportive muscles there will allow the shoulders to naturally open up, find good alignment, and create more space in the joint for reduced inflammation and healing. So we'll come to tabletop, stacking the shoulders above the hands. Pointing the index fingers forward. Your tabletop is also an opportunity to work on engaging those back muscles and the shoulder supportive muscles. And whenever we do that, the best thing to do is think about engaging our shoulders back. So squeezing the scapulas together and then squeezing them down towards the mid back. Find stability in your tabletop, pushing through your fingertips. And drop your feet so that the tops of your feet are on your mat. And slowly move your hips from side to side. We're gonna give some attention more into our abdomen and our lower body. We'll start by just inhaling through the nose and lifting the gaze upward and dropping the belly down. And then exhale, bring the chin to the chest, squeeze the abdomen, round off the lower back, and push again through those fingertips. Inhale, gaze comes forward, the belly drops down, shoulders squeeze them down and back. And exhale, chin to chest, squeezing the abdomen and pushing through the fingertips. So we'll exaggerate this movement a little bit more by when we inhale to lift our gaze forward, squeeze the shoulders back and down, but shift your weight forward over your hands just a little bit more. This will create a greater stretch and opening in the low body here. So inhale, stretch, weight comes forward. And as you exhale, bring your chin to your chest, round at the lower back and shift your weight back towards the heels a little bit. Still pressing through your fingers. And on our next inhale, we'll actually shift our weight forward even more and drop down into our first cobra or up dog. So here with straight arms, we have a pose called up dog. And ideally for this pose, we would actually lift the knees off the ground as well. So what I invite us to do here is find a slight bend in the elbows and ground the pelvis into the ground, into the mat a little bit more. This will strengthen our triceps, which can also benefit the shoulder health. Keeping a bend here, you'll feel your triceps activate. Keep your gaze just slightly in front of you, slightly ahead of your mat. Breathe in. This is cobra. And as you exhale, push through your triceps, come up to your tabletop, and exhale, round out the back, push through the fingertips. Walk the hands back just a little bit into a downward dog, or sorry, into a child's pose, my bad. In your child's pose, think about reaching as forward as possible with your hands, creating as much space in your back and in your arms as possible. In your child's pose as well, you can widen the knees and even widen the distance between your two hands. Good, and then inhale, come back to tabletop. So the rotator cuff is one of the most effective muscles for stabilizing the shoulder because it wraps around that shoulder joint, around that arm bone, almost like the muscles of like an eye. So by strengthening it, we allow that shoulder to naturally open up. So one thing we can do is in our tabletop with our index fingers pointed forward and our hips stacked over our knees, let's take our left hand and reach it out to the side. So keep the gaze down at your mat and take that left hand and squeeze it back like you're trying to squeeze the back of your hand to the ceiling. Squeeze that. And then bring it back down to your mat. And try the other side. Inhale that right arm. Squeeze the back of the hand to the ceiling. And exhale back down. You can do this with weights or with a water bottle in your hand, and that will really strengthen the back muscles in the rotator cuff. What we'll do for right now is we'll take our left leg and extend your left leg back so that it sits back on your mat like this. And then take your left arm, squeeze it up, but this time allow it to open fully. Enough to turn our bodies to the side. In this pose, really emphasize squeezing the shoulder blades together, finding stability by pressing through the fingertips of your grounding hand, gazing upward, and exhale that hand back to your mat. We'll do the other side. So inhale your right leg straight back, sort of grounding the foot just a little bit on the inside of the foot. And then inhale that right arm back just as before, but this time opening all the way up. Reach that right arm up to the ceiling as much as you can and ground through your bottom hand with your fingertips. Allow this to open the shoulder as much as you can. And then exhale, bring that hand back down to the mat. We'll do one more, just taking it a little further. So step that left foot back, straightening the leg. Squeeze your left arm up, out to the side, and then up towards the ceiling. Gazing up towards the ceiling with it, grounding through your bottom hand. This time, with your hand facing up to the ceiling, engage your lats to squeeze the shoulder down. And this time, allow your arm to actually begin to reach past that upward point. So allowing the arm to fall back and almost point behind you. Really opening up the front side of our body and the front chest. Using your inhale to stay strong and open. And then exhale, bring that hand slowly around and down back to the mat as you pull your left leg in. Same thing on the other side. Extend the right leg out, going the inside of the foot just a little bit, straightening the leg. Inhale the right arm up to the ceiling, engaging the lat muscle here to squeeze your shoulder down. You can see the difference between a non-engaged lat would be kind of like this. And then when I engage my lat, my shoulder comes down. And I find some space and stability here in my shoulder. That's just from engaging this muscle. Reaching up, breathing in, allow that shoulder and that hand to fall back like you're pointing behind you. Really finding a stretch in the upper body, in the upper chest. Breathe here for just a moment. And exhale that arm back around down to your mat as you bring your right leg in. Awesome. We'll open up the shoulders just a little bit more with a pose called puppy dog pose. So for this, I kind of scoot to the back of my mat just a little bit so that I have room. Finding a comfortable grounded tabletop, especially with my legs and with my knees. What I'm going to do here is take my hands and walk them to the outside of my mat. So my hands are on the outside of my mat here. From here, squeeze the shoulders back and down. And without moving the location of your hips, we're going to allow our arms to walk forward and allow the chest to come down to the mat. So as I walk my hands to the upper outer corners of my mat, my chest comes down. Keep the gaze forward. In this pose, we can stretch out the shoulders and the tight muscles in the chest. Be gentle. Being gentle in this pose is important, for we're getting a pretty intense opening of the shoulders. And if it's too much, one of the things we can do is actually widen the space between our hands, and that will make that a little bit softer. So you can experiment with creating more space between the hands to come a little bit closer to the chest. Slowly ground the fingertips and walk the hands back into tabletop. Awesome. From our tabletop, we're going to enter our first downward dog for the day. So ground the toes into the back of the mat and press through your toes and through your fingertips to lift your hips up for downward dog. Spend a few breaths here, just lengthening out and walking the dog. Opening up the backs of the legs and creating space in the front body by really pushing through the arms and bringing our ears in between our armpits. Find stability here. Engaging and pushing through our arms. From our downward dog, we're going to step our right leg forward to our right hand and drop our left knee down for a low lunge. from our low lunge, we're going to take our right arm and bring it on the inside so that our knee is on the outside of our hands, like so. And from this low lunge, we'll allow the right knee to open up and fall back out to the side for a lizard pose. Okay, so the right knee drops out, the hands stay grounded on the mat. But we'll feel an opening in our hips here and a stretch in our hip flexor here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the nose. One more breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the nose. Good. Slowly heel toe your knee or heel toe your foot over to your left hand. Allow that foot to come just a little bit closer into your left leg and drop your right knee down for pigeon pose. Now for pigeon pose, one of the things we can do to make pigeon easier is bring this left foot closer to our back leg so that we find more of a pose like this. We can also use something like a block or blanket and support the outer hip, finding more stability here. So find your pigeon pose. Of course, the more distance between the 2 feet, the deeper your pigeon stretch will be. In your pigeon, simply stay grounded through the hands for right now instead of collapsing. So simply just staying grounded here. One thing we can do to avoid curling out our shoulders like this is find a slight bend in the arms. This will activate the triceps and then squeeze the shoulders back and down. This is going to require us to engage more of the muscles in our upper body, which might feel difficult, but by learning to engage these muscles, they will become more supportive and stronger. And they'll work for us. So here, just keeping the upper body engaged and then pressing the hips down into the mat to find that deep stretch into the lower glute. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Keeping our breath stable is a way of keeping our mind stable. And it allows the movement in our body to happen more smoothly, more efficiently, and with more stability and safety. Slowly unwind your pigeon, just bringing that right leg back. And slowly make your way back into downward dog. Awesome, press through the heels. Take this as a second to sort of feel how the right side of your body feels, especially in those hips. Now we'll take the left leg and step the left foot forward to the front of the mat. But of course, this time on the outside. So instead of here for low lunge, we're actually coming here so we can fall into our lizard pose, where our left knee will drop out to the side just a little bit. And we stay grounded through the hands. One thing that can make this easier as well, if you need, is putting your support, your block, or your blanket under your hands. Find stability here. Really utilize your fingertips to push into the mat or to wherever you're being supported. By utilizing and pressing those fingertips down, we're taking a little bit of pressure off the wrist, which is going to preserve the wrist joint a little bit better and strengthen the muscles in the hand. So really always press through the fingertips whenever grounding through the hands. Inhale through your nose. Deeply. Exhale out of the nose, relax that hip open. And then on your next inhale, kind of heel toe your foot over to your right hand. And then as you exhale, drop your left knee to the mat, finding your pigeon pose on the other side. Again, activating those fingertips and the muscles in our back to stay stable and strong. Breathe in through your nose. And as you exhale, relax the hips. Maybe allow your arms to bend. Going to support under your hands if you need it. And inhale, come up. Press through your hands, slowly release that left leg from pigeon pose. Back into our downward dog once more. From our downward dog, we'll gently move back down into tabletop. And from tabletop, we're just going to shift our weight back over to sitting on our butt. Awesome. From our butt, we're going to lay down, just take a quick Shavasana, laying down on our back. Extending the legs, finding space in the lower back. And in order to open up the shoulders in our Shavasana, if you would like to, take the hands, bring them over the heart, almost like in a mummy kind of pose. And then with your hands over your heart, keep them together just like this, and keep your elbows bent just like this. But simply take this and place it over and above your head. And as you place it above your head, press your elbows into the ground and into the mat. Breathe in deep, down your spine and into your belly. And exhale out of the mouth, releasing tension. Once again, breathe in through your nose, breathe a little bit more deeply into the belly this time, as much as you can. And exhale out of the mouth, relax the muscles in your back, in your glutes, in your arms, in your hands. Once again, breathe into the belly. And as you exhale, soften the muscles in your face. And as you surrender and soften your body, allow some gratitude and some joy for this day and for the sun, for the warmth that's been coming for spring. Find some gratitude for that. And find some gratitude for allowing yourself to come closer to your body, becoming more receptive and in better communication with your body. It is an incredible opportunity that we have to be able to work with and explore and understand the body that we've been given that we are able to walk and breathe on a daily basis, that we are able to eat and drink on a daily basis without having to struggle or fight for our basic needs. This is a great blessing. But more importantly, this is a great opportunity. Curl over to your side. And slowly work our way back up to a seated position. Finding support under the pelvis if needed. Sitting comfortably. Take the palms, point them forward, and open the hands out like this. So with the palms facing forward, lift your hands and just squeeze your hands back like this. Relax the shoulders down. As you exhale, press your palms back like you're trying to bring the backs of your hands together behind you. When you inhale, just pause. Breathe in. And as you exhale, again, relax the shoulders down and bring the backs of your hands together behind you, keeping the elbows in. So keeping the elbows squeezed into the torso. As you inhale, now lift your arms up. Keep trying to push your hands back towards one another. Trying to push the backs of our hands together. Inhale, move your arms up. Exhale, push the backs of the hands together, squeezing the shoulder blades more this time. And inhale your hands all the way up, maintaining that squeeze. Lifting the hands, pushing them back. Bring your hands to a heart center at the top above your head. In this heart center, as we breathe in, push the elbows open and back. Almost coming behind our head. Pushing the elbows open, really opening up the shoulder. Exhale, allow our hands to drop behind our head. Really opening the elbows, pushing them open actively. Inhale, reach your arms back up to the ceiling, straightening the arms. And as you exhale, bring your hands in front of your chest. Namaste.
Namaste.
Well, thank you, Kate.
Wonderful class, absolutely wonderful. And I'll be here next Saturday.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay,
I think,
take care.
thank you. Thank you. If you have any feedback, feel free to type it in the chat. And I think for shoulders, the best thing we can do is always find external rotation moments in our day to sort of turn everything open.
Okay.
Really will relieve the shoulder. Doing this exercise here where we come up, reach up, pull back, up, and then in front. Just doing that once here and there in your day will really, really open things.
Great.
And then of course, engaging those muscles. But thank you. Thank you
Great.
for allowing
you.
me to teach for you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.